Hi everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I finally got some sleep. I know some people say you don't need a lot of sleep, but if I don't get enough sleep, I am like half gone. I was so tired. I mean, just watching the video yesterday, I couldn't even keep my eyes open. It was unbelievable. And I'm not focused the same. So the night before I went to bed at 10, got up at 2, then I was up the whole day, then I crashed around 2 p.m., woke up at 8, and then I ended up crashing again around 9, and here I am. So I hope that you get some rest because you don't focus the same. I'm not saying you gotta sleep 10 hours a day, but you know what I mean, like having healthy naps. Like I sleep in like 4-hour segments. It's weird. But I can just feel the difference, and we're running ourselves ragged, and it does help to heal your body when you do rest. And I was such a mess. I had like a piece of hair like stuck to my neck the whole video. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I was such a mess, and I was like, alright, whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit of encouragement today in some of the things that I'm doing, because I'm going to work on some documents, and you really got to worry about your own lane, right? Because this path is like so tight. I've been trying to tell people I couldn't find a good bridge to really encapsulate what I was looking for. But like I was saying, like, you know, we're the type that we're being courageous to go from one side to another. A lot of people out there, they're like, no, I can't do it, and they'll just stay, right? So the ones of the ones who are taking that first step, because a lot of people are just waiting for results to happen for the next person, and then they're gonna do it, and it's like by that time, you know, you're going to be light years behind other people, and that's just not a good attitude to have, right? Like I was trying to explain to someone, it's like trying to join the championships, and you didn't even train. Like, you can't have someone else work out for you, and then think that you're gonna win. And you know, that's why I put up certain videos like standing in equity, knowing who you are, having some of the references. You know, a lot of people have there's this mantra, reach one, teach one. I'm all about get one, give one. Like, I've gotten a lot of great information, so I give also, because we, you know, for those, it's funny how people talk about rainbow currency even, right? Because they talk about rainbow children, us indigos, we were supposed to have the crystal children, and the crystal children has the rain. It's crazy. It's crazy, all this terminology. I had this shirt for a while. I was like, when am I ever going to wear this shirt? And yeah, it's a little chilly. I had to double layer. People are like, I hate the Northeast. I could never. Guess what? Yeah, you can. Because you could. This is how we stay in shape, and we're so hardy. Because you got weights, you know. This is how we warm up, man. We stay in shape. Mentally, physically. That's why nothing phases people out here. I do my thing. I keep it right. Keep it tight, baby. Mental, you know, because sometimes you got to get out of your head. You got to, you know, do something different. Work another part of your body and stuff like that. And I want to get a spot with a wood-burning stove. I mean, it can be really fun, and it changes things up too. If I'm somewhere where it's too hot, I can't work out. I have a hard time working out. And I notice a lot of people are talking about, let me start here, rainbow currency. Let me get my big head out of the way. I know my hair is just, it's fine. Rainbow currency, because everyone's talking about rainbow currency. I guess it's asset-backed currency. So yeah, like some of the terms that are being thrown around, guys, it doesn't hurt to be like, hey, let me look it up, because when somebody brought that up, I don't know if you've looked at some of your certificate of live births, aka letter of credit, patent, letter of patent. Mine's was very colorful. Not all are like that. I mean, I definitely want to get more of that version. And I got that one authenticated. I would show it to you, but I sent it to the Social Security Administration when I updated my file and asked for another card, because you know how people say you can get 10. So I'm like, okay, let me go get another one then. So, yeah, when I get that back, I'm sure other people have it too, though. It's like bluish, pinkish. It has like all these vibrant colors. Like, I've never seen paper quite like that. So now I kind of understand what it means. Probably rainbow currency. And it says a rainbow currency is the real value. The rainbow currency originates in Nasara Law Section 10, creates a new U.S. rainbow currency backed by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals, ending the bankruptcy of the United States, initiated by Franklin Roosevelt in 1933. A rainbow currency backed by precious metals has value unlike the actual US dollar, with no real support. H.R. 5404, a bill to define the dollar as a fixed weight of gold. House Resolution 5404 is a bill introduced by Representative Alex Mooney, West Virginia, that would bring the U.S. back to the gold standard once and for all. It would take effect exactly 30 months after the bill was passed, to allow an adjustment period in the American economy, interestingly, for a Republican-introduced bill. If the bill was enacted any time after July 2018, that 30-month window would come under the administration of the 2020 election. Jacera hints in Trump's speech at UN General Assembly. Remarks by President Trump to the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly. We will enter a new era of unprecedented prosperity, cooperation, and peace. For decades, the same tired voices proposed the same failed solutions, pursuing global ambitions at the expense of their own people. But only when you take care of your own citizens will you find a true basis for cooperation. As president, I have rejected the failed approaches of the past, and I am proudly putting America first, just as you should be putting your countries first. I am supremely confident that next year, when we gather in person, we will be in the midst of one of the greatest years in our country, and frankly, hopefully, in the history of the world. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless America, and God bless the United Nations. Interesting. That's funny, because I was, I used to I had an ambivalent relationship with this guy. I actually wrote to him once. I never heard back. I don't know what's up with that. Some people say he's still the president of the republic. Okay. So it's just interesting. I know people who are in love or in hate with this person, but we knew he was an interesting figure, and he was put in place for a reason. So, and I did see a letter that was written by him, acknowledging actually helping a private citizen discharge debt. So, hey, we can all be standing corrected, right? You can't. That's why we need to get away from the propaganda, right? Because everything they say is hogwash. It's crazy that we allow ourselves to even listen to this stuff. And that's why when we talk, people think what we say is so radical, but it's just because they've been hearing all that bullcrap propaganda. They don't even know it's real or not anymore. So that's why it's always good to just look up your own stuff. There's links there if you want to see the source, guys. I don't know how big this is for you. I know sometimes it can be too small, but then it brings it all to the left. You see how it does that? So annoying. Keep it at 150, but that's what I was reading from. So you see the source there, you can click on it, grab that. New bills filled with real gold. New private currency uses bills filled with real gold. In 2019, Goldback President Jeremy Corbyn said he had a dream in which he saw people paying for groceries using golden bills. Gold is the best money, but it can't buy a loaf of bread. To solve this problem, Gordon used new technology to create a bill that sandwiches a particle-thin gold layer between two layers of polymer. The results can be worth as little as $3.80. Yeah, I actually have an affiliate account with Carrot Bars. Jeff on Stop the Pirates, he's big on that. So that's really interesting, and they have paper money like that too, and you actually can buy some bills like that. I've actually sent out gifts like that with something similar, you know what I mean, because I knew what was coming years ago, so that's cool, and I have a few myself, so it's pretty wild what you can get out there, you know. So FinTech and XRP support in U.S. government register new rule. The remittance transfers. Look at that, remittance. We've got a lot of remittance talk lately, huh? So the remittance transfers under the Electronic Funds Transfer Act final rule is effective July 21st, 2020. The continued growth of fintech non-bank remittance transfer providers and their further expansion into partnerships and other relationships with banks and credit unions, which allow such entities to tap into the closed network payment systems that non-bank remittance transfer providers have developed, and the continued growth and expanded partnerships of virtual currency companies such as Ripple, which offer both a payments messaging platform to support cross-border money transfers as well as a virtual currency, XRP, which can be used to effect settlement of those transfers. The Bureau also believes that expanded adoption of Swift's GPI product or Ripple's suite of products could similarly allow banks and credit unions to know the exact final amount that recipients of remittance transfers will receive before they are sent. That's interesting. The source is www.federalregister.gov. So the remittance transfers under the Electronic Fund Transfer Act. You see that? And that wasn't too long ago. See all this stuff going on during the whole pandemic. Woo! Can't say too much on here, but you know they had time to do all this stuff, right? The longest partial lunar eclipse, guys. They're talking about all that. This max red. Everyone in North America will see it. Oh my. The partial lunar eclipse will last 3 hours, 28 minutes, and 23 seconds. It is also the longest partial lunar eclipse for 580 years. I mean, wow. Well, we knew. Well, I just feel so vindicated too, and I just thank the Most High for all his amazing just influence on us, guys, because who can you give this to? Nobody. So I was doing a little of this and a little of that. Letters, Patton. I like watching Robots and Patriots. I've been watching him for years, and I'm putting my own schematic, like who all the players are, the different trustees. I'm going to write down. I'm trying to find my clipboard. That would have been useful, but it's fine. I got my folder. But you see how I print all this stuff out, guys? I print all this stuff out. Because apparently, we're trying to terminate these subleases with our United States Trust patents as alienated bailments. So you got trustee. They talk about U.S. District Trustee. Could be maybe in the Office of Internal Alienated Property, U.S. Justice. Trying to see what this is. United States Federal Building. Yeah, for your district too, because we have U.S. trustees in our own district. Because the real power is in these letters of credit, aka certificate of live births, right? And they say, well, your actual proper one, because these are like kind of alienated, but that's fine. You can work with it. If you have like a Bible recording, you can have like a private Bible recording of your born date, your born event, or the hospital record with the feet, which mine was stolen years ago by military agents. You see how the devil knew where I was going? You see how the fallen knew what direction I was going in? I was in a situation, guys, where I was like young and I was like living as a roommate. You know, I was trying to grown too fast. You know what I mean? I was like 17 and a half. Thought I should, you know, leave or run away from home and try to be grown. And like, I had a lot of like important documents, which I was a fool to even. And I left half my stuff there when I went back to get it, when I got the hell out of there, like a couple of months later when I woke the hell up. My stuff was taken. They say they threw it out. Who freaking knows? But it was all freaking military scabs that lived there. Not that all people in the military are scabs, but you know what I mean. Like, these people weren't honorable. I'm like, oh yeah, anything could have happened for all I know. They could have knew half this stuff. Like, bastards. But that's okay, because there's other methods like private Bible entry and things like that. So letters, patent letter of credit, which you know, if you have your certificate of live birth, I have a few versions of mine. I even have the one, the crap one from City Hall. I got that one authenticated too. Get them all. Anything with a damn notary signature on it, claim all that stuff. And so what he's saying is like the letter of credit number, like a U.S. Treasury, like, because there isn't like a formal government in play, like we're supposed to come up and be like the honorable Republican, you know, so-called officials or whatever. You know, it's not like public like that on the commercial side, but having the authorization, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, that's what it is. It's like coming back, claiming your own, right? Because it's like that movie Castaway, like Tom Hanks, right? They declare you dead, you're off, you're floating away. Like, no, I'm right here. That's why some of these templates, I might just handwrite it. Like, no, I'm alive. This is my full force signature. Or if I got to do cursive, show them, it's a living being. Put a thumbprint, whatever. You do it how you want to do. Some people like typing theirs or whatever. But that way they can't say, oh, it was a machine that generated that. You know, it was the living woman, the living man with equity behind it. So, I mean, he'll go into that a little bit more. I looked up the definition, because you always got to look up what it is. I already got stuff open from the other day. I know I had my computer on open since yesterday. Can you believe? So, you know, things that you're not familiar with is something you would want to look up yourself. And that's what we're all here to do, you know. You think I have a whole team? I do this. I am one woman with many hats, right? And then you have to do that, you know, and don't lose yourself in it. I know it's easy to do so. Like, make sure you stop and eat. Like, I'm gonna go do my laundry, I'm gonna go do a couple of things, you know. It can't be all of this, because then you're gonna feel like shit. Then you're not gonna be focused. Then you're gonna be haggard. Then you're gonna be confused. Then you're gonna be making mistakes. So step by step, right? You know, it's like a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So yeah, you don't want to be a snail, but you don't need to be like a damn, you know, a cheetah about it, because a lot of things can snap back, and then you got to fix it, and then sometimes rushing will confuse you. So what is letters patent? A government assigns title or rights to a private entity through this legal instrument. I hope it's not cutting, guys, because I know sometimes it does. It's so annoying. I hope it's not too small. It's probably too small now. This thing has a mind of its own today. So you got design, patent, you got all these things. So it's good to know, because when you hear people using certain words, this is something, this is from the 2nd edition. Okay, what is letters patent? A government assigns title or property to a private entity through this legal instrument. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. What else do I got for us? I was reading a little bit. I know you guys don't like, if you don't like the Bible stuff, read it, because this is the Most High doing everything behind the scenes. I don't take any credit. This is something that is near and dear to me. Of course, I had my headphones plugged in again. I always do that, guys. Hopefully you guys heard me. I guess we'll find out, because I'm already, how many minutes into this? I'm already 21 minutes into this. I am not going to redo that again. Yeah, sometimes I start and I got the damn headphones in. It'd be like that sometimes. So, right here, because, you know, this story, I've always loved this story, and it gives you a little bit of historical context, too, with Darius and the feast he had into all the princes of Media and Persia. And there was like these 3 men, and they were like competing to like talk about what's the most important thing, or what's the most, you know, amazing thing there is in life, and things like that, you know. And so you get a lot of like great lessons here. And so first Esdras, we'll read chapter 3 and 4. Not going to be too long. Hopefully you heard me the first 20 minutes. I'd be doing the funniest things on here. So, well, I'll have to screen it, so I'll give it a shot. So, now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and to all his household, and to all the princes of Media and Persia, and to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken and been satisfied, were gone home. Then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. Then 3 young men that were of the guard, that kept the king's body, spake one to another, Let us one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts, and great things in token of victory, as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. And he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. And then everyone wrote his sentence. You know how people say, hey cuz, you know, out of respect when they're close. It's kind of cool. And then everyone wrote his sentence. I love that name, Darius. I should have named my son that. Sealed it and laid it under King Darius his pillow, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge, that his sentence is the wisest. To him shall the victory be given, as was appointed. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is strongest. The third wrote, women are strongest. But above all things, truth bears away the victory. Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him. And so he read them. And sending forth he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers, and sat him down in the royal seat of judgment. And the writings were read before him. And he said, Call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So they were called and came in. See how they had to defend their positions? Interesting. Not defend or expound on it. So you always got to be ready to stand in equity and expound on what you're trying to say. And he said unto them, Declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then began the first, who had spoken of the strength of wine. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine! It causes all men to err that drink it. It makes the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one, of the bondsman and of the free man, of the poor man and of the rich. It turns also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembers neither sorrow nor debt. And it makes every man rich, so that a man remembers neither king nor governor. And it makes to speak all things by talents. And when they are in their cups, they forget their love, both to friends and brethren, and a little after draw out swords. But when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done. O ye men, is not wine the strongest that enforces to do thus? And when he had said so, spoken, he held his peace. Next chapter. First Esdras, chapter 4. Then the second that had spoken of the strength of the king began to say, O ye men, do not excel in strength that bear rule over sea and land and all things in them. But yet the king is more mighty, for he is Lord of all these things, and has dominion over them. And whatsoever he commands them, they do. If he bid them make war the one against the other, they do it. If he send them out against the enemies, they go, and break down mountains, walls, and towers. They slay, and are slain, and transgress not the king's commandment. If they get the victory, they bring all to the king, as well the spoil as all things else. Likewise, for those that are no soldiers, and have not to do with wars, but use husbandry, when they have reaped again that which they had sown, they bring it to the king, and compel one another to pay tribute unto the king. And yet he is but one man. If he command to kill, they kill. If he command to spare, they spare. If he command to smite, they smite. If he command to make desolate, they make desolate. If he command to build, they build. If he command to cut down, they cut down. If he command to plant, they plant. So all his people and his armies obey him. Furthermore, he lies down. He eats and drinks and takes his rest. And these keep watch round about him. Neither may any one depart, and do his own business, neither disobey they him in anything. O ye men, how should not the king be mightiest, when in such sort he is obeyed? And he held his tongue. And the third, who had spoken of wisdom, oh, there's my number 13 again, guys. See how it comes up for me? I love it. And of the truth. This was Zorobabel. That's his name, Zorro. Oh, there's Zorro. There's the real Zorro, guys. Began to speak. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excels, Who is it then that rules them, or has the lordship over them? Are they not women? Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards, from whence the wine comes. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be. Yea, if men had gathered together gold and silver, or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty? And letting all those things go, do they not gape, and even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her? And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold, or any goodly thing whatsoever? A man leaves his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaves unto his wife. That's true. He sticks not to spend his life with his wife, and remember neither father, nor mother, nor country. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you. Ye not labor and toil, and give and bring all to the woman. Yea, a man takes his sword, and goes his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers, and looks upon a lion, and goes in the darkness, and when he has stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he brings it to his love. Wherefore a man loves his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and became servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women. And now do you not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see him, and Apami, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Barticus, sitting at the right hand of the king, and taking the crown from the king's head, and setting it upon her own head. She also struck the king with her left hand. And yet for all this the king gaped, and gazed upon her with an open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again. O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus? Then the king and the princes looked upon one another, so he began to speak of the truth. O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course, for he compasses the heavens round about, and fetches his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not great that makes these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things. All the earth cries unto the truth, and the heaven blesses it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endures, and is always strong. It lives and conquers forevermore. It's beautiful. With her there is no, see how we keep saying her, like wisdom, her. There is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she does the things that are just, and refrains from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness, and she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the God of truth. And with that he held his peace. And all the people then shouted and said, Great is truth, and mighty above all things. Then said the king unto him, Ask what thou wilt more than is appointed in the writing, and we will give it to thee, because thou art found wisest, and thou shalt sit next to me, and shall be called my cousin. Then said he unto the king, Remember thy vow, which thou hast vowed to build Jerusalem in the day when thou came to thy kingdom, and to send away all the vessels that were taken out of Jerusalem, which Cyrus set apart, when he vowed to destroy Babylon, and to send them again thither. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple, which the Edomites burned in Judea, which was made desolate by the Chaldees. And now, O Lord the King, this is that which I require, and which I desire of thee, and this is the princely liberality proceeding from thyself. I desire therefore that thou make good the vow, the performance whereof with thy own mouth thou hast vowed to the King of heaven. Then Darius the king stood up and kissed him, and wrote letters for him unto all the treasurers and lieutenants and captains and governors, that they should safely convey their way both him and all those that go up with him to build Jerusalem. He wrote letters also unto the lieutenants that were in Seleucia and Phoenice, and unto them in Libanus, that they should bring cedar wood from Libanus into Jerusalem, and that they should build the city with him. Moreover, he wrote for all the Jews that went out of his realm into Jewry concerning their freedom, that no officer, no ruler, no lieutenant, no treasurer should forcibly enter into their doors, and that all the country which they hold should be free without tribute, and that the Edomites should give over, the real European thing going on, should give over the villages of the Jews which then they held. So this is a lot of amazing stuff. I mean, this is making me think of everything going on today too. And you got a lot of the Most Highest people teaching a lot of this stuff too online. I'm just so grateful. Yea, that they should be yearly given 20 talents to the building of the temple until the time that it were built, and other 10 talents yearly to maintain the burnt offerings upon the altar every day, as they had a commandment to offer 17, and that all they had went from Babylon to build the city should have free liberty, as well as they as their posterity, and all the priests that went away. He wrote also concerning the charges and the priests' vestments wherein they minister, and likewise for the charges of the Levites to be given them unto the day that the house were finished, and Jerusalem builded up. And he commanded to give to all that kept the city pensions and wages. He sent away also the vessels from Babylon that Cyrus had set apart, and all that Cyrus had given in commandment. The same charge he also to be done, and sent unto Jerusalem. Now when this young man was gone forth, he lifted up his face to heaven toward Jerusalem. Look at that, lifted up his face to heaven toward Jerusalem, now facing the east like the sun worshippers, and praised the King of heaven, and said, From thee comes victory, from thee comes wisdom, and thine is the glory, and I am thy servant. Yep, we only serve the Most High, not these corporations. No mas. Blessed art thou who hast given me wisdom, for to thee I give thanks, O Lord of our fathers. And so he took the letters and went out, and came unto Babylon, and told it all to all his brethren. And they praised the God of their fathers, because he had given them freedom and liberty to go up and to build Jerusalem and the temple which is called by his name, And they feasted with instruments of music and gladness 7 days. You see that? That's why we got to be right with the Most High. He's going to give us freedom for those who are righteous in His ways, and that we want to sacrifice to Him in the right way. I mean, obviously we need some space for that. I mean, I want to follow all His feast days and do everything correctly. You know, like I've been saying, it's hard to do it in our little corners, you know. We do what we can. But just keep yourself busy, guys. I hope that was helpful. I mean, all this rainbow currency, right? Where are we? 40 minutes. I'm not going to make this long because there's already so many amazing people already online making like extremely long videos. So I'm like, I'm not going to make another 2-hour video, or not. I don't got that kind of time because I'm actually also applying a lot of these methods, and I might just, you know, write some things out. And yeah, I guess they're leasing. They write bonds against our assets, guys. So on this channel, you know, I'm not going to go through the ins and outs because you got to want to do it and, you know, go to the information and be able to stand on it. Because you know how many videos I sent people? And they don't know. Years later, they'd be asking me for information that people were gracious enough to put online. You know what I mean? And it's good to know how to make your own templates and stuff. It's like, how are you going to join the big leagues? I couldn't even find a meme on it. You can't join the big leagues if you don't train first. That's my motto, but I couldn't find it, guys. You know, and this walk is just so tight. I was telling people, it's like one, you know, you can't have two people and you can't be dragging the next person. So you need each person to give themselves like an honest shot. Because if we were all more informed about this and real and serious about this, and we all do our due diligence in our own locations, I mean, that's going to reverberate around this country, around the world. I mean, people are doing this internationally. There's people in Hawaii, there's people in the UK, there's people whatever, you know what I mean? If we all are heard, it's like, yeah, no more calling us names, no more acting like you don't know what we're talking about. You know what I mean? The more we are doing it together, and just, you know, worry about what you can do for yourself, you know, what's going on in your backyard, you know, because everyone, it's nice when other people share their stuff, but don't be so worried about what this person got, what that person got. What do you got going on? You know, are you doing your homework? You know, you see that a lot of us will come on here, we'll be exhausted, we'll be whatever, but it keeps me sane too, like this stuff. Having an overstanding, I think I have being the youngest child syndrome, when everyone was trying to, you know, tell, you know how they are with their inside jokes. They don't want to tell you because you're too young, you're too whatever, like, it's, you know. So me, I'm the type of person, I gotta know what the hell's going on. I don't like things behind my back. I don't like not having an overstanding. I don't like delegating. People are like, oh, you should get a lawyer to handle this. And I'm like, oh, no. Do you know having a so-called lawyer landed me in jail for 2 months with the so-called lawyer because they were talking out of their damn asshole? I'm like, what? Why are you even bringing it? They were saying stuff that wasn't even relevant to the case. Like, where did they get this woman from? Like, where did she crawl out of? I was horrified. I was so young. Talking about what high school I went to. How's that going to help anything with the case? It was so off topic. I said, that taught me everything I needed to know about lawyers, you know what I mean? You can pay them all you want. You can do all you want. They can still jack your account. They can still do whatever. You'll have to find one that you know personally, that you trust. In my area, I don't got it like that. I knew one that was okay, but he's older now. I don't know if he moved away by now, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things you can do being attorney. In fact, remember on my video yesterday, we went into the terms. You know, Bradley has his own channel. Was it Tipton? Talking about the difference between at law and in law. So attorneys at law are near the law, It's somewhere near it, but it's not at the right lot. So there's just a lot that goes into it. So I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my competency level. I do a lot of things, like I'm into coin grading and stuff. This is not, I got my eggs in a few baskets, you know what I mean, kind of thing. This has a coin error, has an extra digit, so that could be worth something. So yeah, I do things like that. I have many different things, not just coins, but I love making non-toxic products. I have an eBay store. I'll put it underneath. So just imagine how much more stuff I'm going to be growing, all the herbs for it to help people, making packages for people who need it. People can be low income, people who don't got shit, you know what I mean? Make our own. We need to like come together. We can make our own like habitat for humanity kind of thing. I was thinking something like that too, because the place I have, well, that I'm trying to get, has some acreages, and I'm like, I can use some people to help like landscape it and tend to it. So I could put like some acreage for them, like have somebody build a house for them, you know what I mean? Like some type of like nice condo, I don't know. Well, nothing too big, because I don't want to like take away from the land too. But like it doesn't take much. 1 or 2 acres is all you need to have like a place that you can live or whatever. And then they would have like definite work, or whoever wanted to like stay there, right, and like work a few, you know what I mean, if they're like from far away, or I don't know. There's so many things you can do, because you're like, oh, I want to get this spot, but like, do you have the manpower to like help you shovel it and do this and that? Like where I live, it does snow, so I'm like, okay, I would need some type of truck with the plow, shovel, somebody to like clean the area a little bit, so people can come in and out. There's a lot that goes into property management, right? Because then it's on you to keep it clear, and so people got to think about that too, depending on the location. But yeah, this walk is like uber tight, guys, uber tight. So just worry about balancing, keeping yourself going. Check out all these amazing different channels out there. They are there for you. Who knows how long this information will be allowed to circulate. So just avail yourself now. Take all the notes you can. I don't stop with it. In between, that's what I do. It's funny because they call people like us, we're like the beautiful minds that can even understand this stuff. The ones that were called weird, the so-called ones on the spectrum. I'm, a little bit on the autistic spectrum or whatever, a little bit of OCD. When we latch on to something, we're like in it, we're those people. And we're the ones that, is showing now. I think there's like the movie The Accountant with Ben Affleck. Like he was a little nuts like that, but he uncovered a lot because like his mind, the way it works. I haven't watched it yet, but people keep telling me like, because when they deal with me or whatever, they're like, you should watch that movie Accountant. Like, oh, okay, like maybe I will, should be interesting. But again, I don't really have time to watch movies like that anymore either, because just doing this stuff, and now I'm gonna go do some of my errands and laundry and all that. You want to make sure your space is clear. You want to make sure everything's organized, because I can't focus and work in a messy space. Can you? I mean, I go freaking nuts. Right? I have to stop everything, start, vacuuming. You'd be surprised how much upkeep it takes. But yeah, for all the indigos, for all the so-called ones that be alive, mentioned in the book of Enoch, the elect, whatever you want to call, the ones that can see, those that can see, right? Like the movie They Live. I just want to inspire you each and every day. Not one person can do it. I know a lot of people are exhausted, even if they put a brave face and they act like it's so easy. It's not easy. I've raised a son and a daughter, and I know what being exhausted is, and had like 3 jobs at the same time, doing all this stuff almost to my breaking point. And doing this stuff can be very, very exhausting too. It's more fulfilling. That's okay. I mean, what do they say? When you find your passion, you never have to work a day in your life. It doesn't feel like work. It's a different type of feeling. It's more fulfilling. At least you're getting more for the energy that you expend, So it's definitely worth it. but you gotta be able to see it, you know, in your head. You got to be able to see the bigger picture. And some people, you try to break it down, it's like they don't get it like years into it. I'm like, you're still asking me to break down these ABCs, can you stop? You know what I mean? That means that like you are not trying, you know. And I'm talking about not people online, people that I've dealt with, and then they see you do a couple of things, oh, do this and do, like, no, if you're not gonna, you know, walk your own walk, like, you know, show that you can do some things. I'm not gonna like fill out your paperwork and stuff like that, and then you're gonna sign it like you wrote it. Like, that's crazy. Like, you gotta be able to understand some concepts and write a one-page document if that's all you can write. You know what I mean? If you want to notarize it, fine. Some people say that, you know, the straw man is one entity, you and your private is another entity, and you can get a third person to witness, and just, you know, that's considered, you know, proving who you are too. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can look at it. There's people that are so smart, they're like, yeah, you know, they thought they were slick giving us this straw man, but at the same time, they gave you another legal personality that could vouch. It's like, yep, that could sign. You can come in your living side sign. That's two people right there. Like, what do you mean? Aren't we like a triune situation? So thank you guys. I appreciate your time. I'm going to go out and do what I got to do. Can you see my shirt? You probably didn't even see it. Yeah, it's indigo, baby. Indigo soul. I know, right? It's like, ah. I know. This thing, I'm so short that it's like it only gets like a certain amount of me. And you're probably like, what was she even talking about? It's my t-shirt. That's why I put like purple as like my color too, because of that vibration. I appreciate you guys. Love you all. Shalayim. Is that how you say it, Lex? It's not Shalawam anymore. Shalayim. Like yin and yang. I'm going to have to look that up. I appreciate you. Peace and blessings as always. And stay strong. And make sure you keep the Most High first. Have a great day.